hit record and I'll say, let's get started. Welcome, guys. I am excited tonight to have Erin on the call. Erin and I met in the 21 Day Fix Extreme 5-star and above challenge group. So when you get to 5-star, you go on the wall. The wall is where all the 5-star and above coaches share information and ideas and best practices, and corporate will give us a heads up, like, hey, this is happening, get ready for this, or this is what, so we always are, kind of in the know, and then we also have the opportunity to ask questions to them as well about something that you guys may be struggling with, or good stuff, suggestions, stuff like that. So anyway, so we, when 21 Day Fix Extreme launched, they created a challenge group for all the 5-star and above coaches, and we were sharing our stories, and Erin and I have a similar story. Actually, it's even more similar because I got to talk to her today a little bit and find out she doesn't have upline either, so I'm excited to hear her story. She has blown this business away, and I'm going to let her tell you all about it because I know many of you are very interested and excited to do something big like that this year. So, Erin, she is a 6-star diamond elite coach, but she is 7-star qualifying, and she has only been around since October of 2013. So she's fairly new as well. So this is really cool. So yeah, I'm going to let you take it away. Go for it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I know I've really enjoyed getting to know you. It's so fun, all the different types of people, and when you really connect with someone, it's so cool. So I've loved talking to you, and thank you so much for having me on tonight. So I will start by sharing my story so you know a little bit about me. First and foremost, I'm a mom of 2. My daughter is 15 years old, and my son is 5. So I got pregnant with my daughter when I was in high school, and it kind of changed my whole course of life, that I ended up not really having any drive. I didn't go to college. I didn't have any sort of passion at all other than to not be judged for being such a young mom. So I didn't really have any drive to be successful at all. I had wanted to be a social worker, and I didn't end up going to college, so I didn't do that. I was never really pushed to be better, and I kind of just went day in and day out. And I also really didn't have any confidence because I just was so fearful of being judged. So I got into this business last October. Well, I guess I can't say that. A year ago from October, 16 months ago about. And I watched a business opportunity on how this worked, which I know a lot of people come in for the Shakeology. I had been asked to do network marketing before, but it seemed like something I could never do. But the products were different, and it wasn't something I really believed in, so I knew it wasn't for me. I had Googled what Shakeology was, and I was watching Dr. Oz and writing down all these ingredients, and I noticed that all the ingredients were already in Shakeology, and I was spending a lot on supplements because I was exhausted. So I felt like I'm totally going to do this. I signed up right there on the spot, and I came home and I told my husband, and he was like, oh my God, Erin, please tell me you didn't buy anything. And I'm like, not only did I buy something, I'm going to be a coach. And he was like, just not happy, not for any other reason other than he knows me. And he says, like, Erin, you're the person, if somebody doesn't like you, you're crying, like, we're not doing this. You cannot be a salesperson. And I don't know why, but for some reason, I just felt like it's not sales. It's not going to be like that. Like, I wanted to help people, and I truly believe from what I had been researching that this will help people, and I'll be able to introduce them to that. And he was just so nervous. But I'm glad that I fell in love with it, and I realized, well, I thought what I thought it would be. I said I could make my own hours. There's trips. The paycheck is what you make it. There's just so much that you can do with this. So I went out and I asked all of my friends, and I was like, this is the best business. You guys are going to love it. We're going to have this big team. It's going to be so fabulous. Everyone literally looked at me and was like, yeah, no, good luck with that. And I had so many people say to me, when you're a millionaire, let me know and I'll join your team. And I just was like shocked because I probably asked about 200 people. I'm like, everyone was saying no to me, and I had no idea why. It didn't make any sense. So my first month I was fortunate enough Thank God for my mom and my brother-in-law. I did become emerald. And honestly, I think they just felt bad for me. So my second month, I just didn't, at that point, I'm fueled by when somebody's like, oh, you can't do this. That fuels me. Like, you have to find what fuels you. And for me, people saying, oh, you can't, like, not a good idea. I'm like, oh, I have to prove you wrong. Like, I'm going to do this. So I just kept asking people. People kept saying no. Somehow I had 3 people say yes to me in November. Don't know how. One of them is still a discount coach today. She does not miss a day of Shakeology, loves it, has never signed anybody. That's what she does. Another one is one of my diamonds right now, and the other one quit. So when she quit, that was like, like, you're going to be kidding. So another major fall. But I just realized that I needed to set a quit date. I said, if I'm not loving this, 6 months from October is my birthday, April. And I'm like, if I'm not loving it, I'll just drink the Shakeology and I will say that I gave everything, but I will quit. So I started to reevaluate what I was doing. And in December, I learned who my upline was Keith Callahan. So because he was so far up, I'm, again, a nervous person. I messaged him and I'm like, if there's any way that you have any sort of group or anything I can be a part of. And he's like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, oh, it was so awesome. So I took his Coach Basics. And in the Coach Basics program, I learned that I was literally telling everybody what I wanted them to do. And that's why it wasn't working for me. I was like, you're going to love this business. Well, first of all, I noticed that people didn't really believe in themselves enough to do this business. And they didn't get what I was saying because I hardly knew what I was talking about. So I took a different approach and I started listening to people and I started asking them questions. And I wanted to know like where they were and how healthy they felt and how much energy they had. And I ended up making Success Club 12 that month because I looked at it differently. I decided that I was going to make a ton of friends and I was just going to figure out that if I can reach people and understand them and help them, that it would be different than what I had been doing originally. So I became Diamond in January. I have no idea how, but it was just literally by shifting my mindset and wanting to learn about people. I started learning about all these different types of people, like people who have rescue dogs or people like someone who is an oncology nurse, like different stories, people who run marathons or moms of twins, all these different types of people I started talking to, and it was interesting. And I felt like I started building all these friendships, and even people that I was like, oh, they'll never say yes. I just decided that I was going to still talk to them, that it was starting to make me feel like I had this new life and this new passion, and I was driven, and I felt so much better because I had all these new people in my life, and people started signing up. So I became a better person through all this. I was really, really inspired, and I just kept going. I started to stay consistent, and that's when I started to do personal development. Of course, I have to throw personal development in there because that's what literally changed me. I became so much more confident. Like when I tell you I was super nervous, I never wanted to be judged. Like I don't feel that anymore, and I swear that's because personal development. My favorite books for personal development, The Go-Giver, absolutely my favorite book ever. That changed me. It's like about what the meaning of life is. It's literally about giving to other people. And if you can do that, then you'll be successful. If that's your main focus, like give to people for free, add value to people's life. Once you do that, it's so incredible. How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business. I had never heard about network marketing. I did not know what it was. And that was so interesting to me. The first person who said, this is a pyramid scheme, I had no clue what they were talking about because I didn't know what it was. The Magic of Thinking Big, of course, so good. If you guys haven't read that, it's the best book. Obviously, GoPro Compound Effect. And this one sounds so awful, but I don't know why he named it this, but How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you guys haven't read that, it's really, really good. And I know that there's people who are in like customer service at jobs, and their job makes them read that book because it's really good at just getting to know people. He devoted his whole life to learn about different types of people and the way to handle people, and that was so good. And of course, You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero is amazing. So those are my favorite personal development books, and I feel like once I started getting really into that, I became a better person. And I had heard people say this. I didn't believe them. whatever. You have to really do it for yourself. But I also felt like I'm busy. I mean, I have 2 kids. I was watching my 2 nephews. I had a job. I was in school, and I had every excuse in the book why I couldn't do personal development. I started listening with my headphones and my phone in my pocket through Audible, and I'd put one headphone in if I went to get my nails done or if I was cooking, and I feel like it's not rude because I only had one headphone so I can still hear them. But that really changed me. I put my headphones by my bed at night, and I'll listen to 10 minutes before I go to sleep, 10 minutes right when I wake up to start my day and feel more positive about things. And I just think that that really is what changed me. That, along with being interested in other people. So I'm not the best at posting on Facebook. I struggle to post once a day. I've kind of had it stuck in my head that if it's not fun or funny or fun to look at, those are the guidelines. I think someone said that at Summit, and it just stuck out to me. So now I'm like overcritical of my posts. I remember talking to one of my friends saying, like, I need to be better at posting on Facebook. Like, you're so funny. I don't know what to say, and I don't really have anything funny to say because he's very funny. And he looked at me and he was like, Erin, you're not funny. Like, don't try to be funny because you're not funny. Like, people don't like you because you're funny. People like you for whatever reason they like you. So figure out what that is and play on that, because he's hysterical. His posts are awesome. But it really was like a huge light bulb going off in my head. Like, everybody has different things as to what makes them interesting, and funny's not one of my things. So I played on more of my kids or things I like to do. And I thought that was just like a huge thing to me, realizing that everybody has their strong suit and you just have to play on that. So my main way that I built this business was by private messaging people. That is my thing. I think so many people see a picture on Facebook and they'll like compliment it in their head. They'll be like, oh, their daughter got so big, or, oh, I'm so psyched they got a new job, or whatever it is. And you're complimenting people all day long as you're scrolling through the news feed. So instead of just doing that, I would private message them and tell them, like, I can't believe how big your daughter got, or congratulations on your new job, and starting a conversation that way. And that's how I built so many relationships, because sometimes people are so caught up in life, like especially a mom or dad who's home with their kids, or someone who has a new job and literally doesn't talk to people all day except for at work. Just like a simple hello can seriously change someone's life. So you never know who you're going to be able to do that for just by saying hello. And building that friendship really can change their life. They can start Shakeology and it can be so different. So you never want to like pass up on an opportunity to make a genuine connection with people. I always put myself out there. And if somebody doesn't message me back, that's okay. I've had people message me back like 3 months later and be like, oh, sorry, I just got your message. And then I'll connect with them. Because of course you guys all know that people say no and people just are caught up in life and they don't. But you never know what can happen. There's also times where people are like, I would never do something that's healthy for me right now because I'm miserable. And if you stop talking to them at that point, they're never going to come back to you. I know there were times in my life I love Swedish fish. So if there's a time where I'm eating Swedish fish over and over and it's just, that's my thing, nobody's going to tell me not to until I'm personally ready. And if whoever I was talking to about getting healthy is no longer in the picture talking to me because I said no originally and they gave up, then I'm not going to go back to them. So you want to make sure to always keep that connection going. Even if you check in like once a week, once every other week, after they say no, I've had so many people, including all 8 of my diamonds, said no to me. And I don't mean just like they weren't like, they were like, no, sorry. One of them said, when you're a millionaire. One of them said they're not a shake person. They've all said no to me. So you guys have to really, truly believe that they will come back. And when they're done like eating their Swedish fish, they might be ready to get healthy. And you want to make sure that they're right there with you. So I had a lot of struggles with this. Of course, I've had people quit. I've had things happen. But I think the biggest struggle was like balancing family time. And I remember one of my coaches saying, I don't know if I can make it on the call because my family has to come first. And for me, it kind of stopped me dead in my tracks because I'm like, oh, I do this for my family. Like I do this because my family does come first. I work Monday and Wednesday night and occasional Tuesday or Thursday for my family so that financially we can be better, so that I can be happier, that things will come together for my family. And I look at this like a job. Because when you think about it, there's nurses who work 20-hour shifts. There's hairdressers who work every single Saturday and Sunday. So if you're not treating like all the events and all your team calls like it's literally your job, then you're not going to grow from this. And you have to look at it as this is something you do for your family. Everybody has a ton of stuff going on. Like I said, I have 2 kids. My daughter's a sophomore, and that's a job in itself. And I'm in school. I just recently quit my job 4 weeks ago, so that's exciting. So this is now my only job. But for the past year, I also had another job. So it's crazy, and you can make all the excuses in the world. But if you do that, you're not going to be able to grow your business. You have to at least give yourself the time to go 100% all in and see what can happen. Make sure that you have those lists and are connecting with people and just watch it grow. Our job is literally to share Shakeology. I don't know if you guys have seen Shay Stanford's video where it talks about people are dieting like all over the world, and they're cutting down their calories, which is cutting down their nutrients, and then they're exhausted and they're feeling crabby because they don't have the proper nutrients. So Shakeology literally is that tool to help them avoid being crabby and tired and exhausted. And they can lose weight while cutting calories because they have the Shakeology. That's our job, to help people and to share that. It just seems so crazy that we get to do this and you can get paid so much and you can help people. I have a girl on my team who had colitis, and she literally couldn't go out with her friends because she would be looking for the closest bathroom. Like, the poor thing, she was in and out of testing for a long, long time, and she's literally in remission over Shakeology. So when you think about it, that's our job, and there's somebody out there who might feel that way, and if you never introduce them to this, they could still be home and not going out with their friends because they hadn't spoke to you. So I think that the most important part of this thing is you have to be driven and not make excuses for yourself. You have to be passionate, and you have to really believe that you can do this. I was told, because I had started in October, I had told a coach that I wanted to be elite. And he literally was like, oh, no, like, that's not a good idea for your first year in. You're not even going to be here. Like, don't do that. Because, again, he didn't want to see me hurt or whatever. But stuff like that drives me. And there's something that will drive you. Find what that is and push yourself, because you'll be so shocked. If someone in this business has done it, you can certainly do it. If you have 0 coaches underneath you right now, you can certainly become an elite coach at the end of this year if you want to. You literally have to just believe it. When you believe in something, this is from the magic of thinking big, that your mind literally starts to go to work to make that happen. When you say, like, I'm going to be elite, your mind starts going, all right, how are we going to, it doesn't like hear the negatives. It's literally like, all right, let's make this happen. How are we going to make it happen? And it just starts to happen. So it's so crazy. I would get out a dream board. I love my dream board. I put 5 names on that to be last January, and I put 4 names. I'm sorry. One of them was blank. And at the time, only one of them was emerald when I did that. But 4 of those coaches were my diamonds, and one more I added in. She hadn't signed yet, but it's something about writing it down, mapping it out, and literally, like, it sounds insane, but like giving it to the universe. Like, how much money do you want to make? How many people do you want to help? How many people do you want on your team? Literally writing that down and being so specific is so crazy. I just went to the New Leaders Conference in LA, and it was so interesting that Michael Neiman did a story about rats. And he said that there was a teacher who had a box of 50 rats, and he split them up, and he said 25 rats over here, 25 rats over here. And he told the students, these rats are the smart rats. They have the higher IQ rate. They've done really well. And these rats over here are the dumb rats. Like, they just didn't test well, and they're not very bright. And we're going to race them through this maze. And it was like 95% or something of the smart rats outraced the dumb rats. And it's literally because those students believed in them. And that sounds crazy, but it's so true. So when you even have discount coaches or customers who probably don't believe in themselves, if you believe in them even more than they believe in themselves, they might be your next diamond coach just for that reason alone, because you believed in them. This society is mean. Like, people are mean, TV is mean, commercials are mean. People are really hard on themselves. And to have one person in their life who believes in them, it might change their whole world. They might tell you they have no interest at all in this business. I wouldn't believe them. because I've heard that so many times and I have diamond coaches from it. Something I do with my discount coaches or my customers, I don't know if you guys have gotten into the color code. It is so interesting. It's colorcode.com. And right now, I think it's a little glitch, but if you put in Beachbody Coach as the promo code, it gives you the full analysis. It's supposed to be $40, but it gives it to you for free. It is so interesting. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about my husband. My parents took it. It is so interesting what your core motive is. And if you have your discount coaches take this test, you can find out what drives them. So you can figure out, everybody has that little carrot in front of them that you're going to chase after because that's what you want. Everybody has something that drives them. And once you learn what your discount coach is driven by, you can use that to help them advance in this business and advance in their health decisions and stay on track because you now know them that much better. That thing is a godsend. I love it. Colorcode.com. You guys really should get into that. It's been so life-changing. And again, the promo code was Beachbody Coach, all one word, and it's $40 for free. And I promise you'll love it. It's so interesting. Another thing I do for my discount coaches to help them get more involved is I ask them to help with the challenge groups. So the way we run our challenge groups is we've done one post per day. So we have 7 people, and they will make a post, and underneath it is where everybody will check in. So it's a little bit organized, but some people are afraid to make a status and make it all about them. And I found that having them just comment underneath made people feel more comfortable. And then I was able to ask 6 other discount coaches to run this group with me. And they'll post, if we do 21 days, they'll post 3 times. Like one person has Monday. And that's helped get people involved. I always suggest personal development, even to discount coaches. I just suggest a book that I think they would like because it helps them grow themselves too. And they appreciate it. And I help them set goals because some people have never set goals. I had never set goals. So you should also make a goal for yourself. I would literally, if I was you and you want this bad enough, I would make it a goal that for the next 3 months, this is your job. And evaluate yourself. Are you a good employee? Would your boss, if you had a boss, would they say that you're doing a good job? Or is there something that's holding you back that you need to do more of? So of course, the 3 vital behaviors, inviting, personal development, and being proof of the product. If one of those are lacking, I would make a calendar and just check off. If you're not doing personal development, check off that you did it for 10 minutes a day. And when you look back at that calendar and you see that the past 2 weeks you didn't miss a day, it's so fulfilling. It's all right, I did that. I can do this. And something about seeing it visually that you accomplished it, and it's going to grow your business. So I would decide right now to commit to whatever you're lacking, whatever you're struggling with. And just believe in yourself. If you believe what we're doing is the right thing, if you know someone who uses Shakeology and feels better from it, and if you don't, you now know me, you can do this because you must know somebody. And we're doing the right thing. How many people's lives has this changed? Google it. It's crazy. But you have to just focus and put yourself out there and literally change your mindset. I truly believe, and this is something I struggled with when I first started, I truly believe that everybody I talk to, I'm helping them way more than they're helping me. Yes, I'm getting 2 Success Club points. Yes, I'm making commission. But I honestly think of the people who they had cholesterol problems their entire life genetically, but since starting Shakeology, they're off medicine. I literally think that when I sign someone up, that might be them. So I'm helping them way more. I remember one of my brand new coaches was like, do you say thank you after they order? And I was like, oh gosh, no. They should be thanking me. No, I don't say thank you. They're going to say thank you to me because their life's about to change. I feel like it was just such a funny question that I had never thought of, but I normally say, I'm so excited for you. And that's how I close the sale. But it's just so funny. So if I was you guys, literally focusing on why this is possible, because you really do create your own limits. Inaction feeds fear. If you're not doing anything, if your business has been stagnant, then it's just growing more fear as you go. So make a goal to reach out to 1 new person a day. Start small if you have to, but start somewhere for sure. And another thing that I was worried about when I started is I never wanted to be a salesperson. But I love the analogy to just share Shakeology like you're sharing a movie or you're sharing a restaurant, because other than that, it's scary. I was telling my friend Katie, who I didn't, for some reason, I was naive, didn't think that she would ever do this. And I was just sharing with her, I sleep better. I just feel better. My skin's even cleared up. Like, so many things are so great from this. And I was going on and on because she's one of my best friends. And she said to me, okay, sold. And I was like, oh my God, like, I am not selling you anything. I'm not a salesperson. I do not sell. Please don't, like, that. Don't say that word. And she's in marketing. And she's like, Erin, that's all sales is, like, sharing your story, sharing why you love it, and seeing if the other person wants to love it too, if they would fall in love with it, if they're interested in why you love it. So that was so eye-opening to me because it just changed everything, because you're just literally sharing. Another thing that I wanted to tell you, I don't know how many of you have your own team pages, but this was really helpful for growing my business, is when you start your own team page, I do different days. So like Monday, we do coach of the week, and anybody can pick a coach of the week. I don't care if it's a brand new coach and they just did something that they helped somebody, or they were encouraging in the challenge group. So Monday is coach of the week. I have a little sign up sheet. Tuesday, we do meet an FSC member. My team is Fit Synergy Corp. So we do meet an FSC member, and somebody in the team gets to volunteers to do a 3-minute video. And they literally just share their story of why they got into this and how this has changed their life. And we put it into our team page. I have 2 team pages. So once you become Emerald, you get to be in a different Push to Diamond page. And that's where we do all like the questions, like comparing other ingredients or whatever it is, because the team page that I have has all the discount coaches in it. So they get to be inspired by seeing these meet coach of the week or meet an FSC member. And then the video is kind of interesting because people will watch the video, and even if it's a discount coach and they have no interest, seeing so many people over and over share why they love Shakeology or what it's done for them gets them more interested. Wednesday is our team call, and then Thursday we do a Shakeology ingredient. So we highlight any ingredient in Shakeology, and somebody signs up to do that. So I don't personally post it because I want everybody to feel involved and everybody to be a part of the team. And then Friday we do FSC, again, Fit Synergy. So be your team name recognition for somebody who's lost a lot of weight or had a big health change or something more health related. So that has been huge for my business in getting other people involved in what we do. So that was just a few tips. My last thing is, you have to remember that the human brain says no 7 times before it says yes. I don't know if that's true, but I tell myself that it is all the time. It could be 8, it could be 2. But I really do think that the human brain is like, has its defense up. So when people say no to you, again, all of my diamonds said no. So please don't think that they mean that. They're just like saying it as a defense. And again, if you've read GoPro, my favorite thing, I felt, I found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but I found that $4 a day is not a lot of money. Think of the healthiest meal you could ever buy. The healthiest thing. How much was it? Is more than $4 a day. Or I found that I was going to Starbucks and spending this much on a coffee and I was burning out in an hour. So different comments like that have helped. GoPro is an amazing book. But basically it's our job to share Shakeology. And if you're not sharing this, it's really a disservice to other people, to your friends and family, because they love you. They want to feel better too. And you get rewarded in so many ways by helping other people. So I hope I didn't go on and on. I realized I didn't ask you how long you wanted me to go on for. It's been a half hour, and I hope that's okay, Lindsay.
Yeah, we usually go for about an hour, so you're good.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I have that much material.
Oh, no.
Do you want to open up for questions?
Sure, I can do that. If you guys have questions, you can type in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask Erin questions. We'll see if anyone has anything for you. I think that we had done something similar. We had done like leader of the week, so we did something like what you guys did. But I love how you guys do the different recognition. That's really cool.
Yeah, I found that it's so helpful because even I'll have a brand new coach volunteer to do, all right, I'll do a video, and doing a video, as we all know, is scary. And it puts yourself out there, And then it gets everybody commenting like, oh, I loved your video, or, oh, I can't believe you went to this school, I went there too, or whatever it is. It connects people. And then they also enjoy the compliments and the comments, and they become friends, and it gets people more involved. So it has been so helpful.
That's such a great way to create culture, I think. Such a cool way.
Yeah.
And I love that you said, and that's just so cool that you said that, because like I'm over here and I'm like learning so much, and I've had a lot of my family comes first. I can't be on this. My family, and I sit back and I'm like, well, so does my family.
Yeah, it's almost insulting. I literally almost started crying when I heard that. I'm like, what do you mean? Do you think my family does? Like, I'm doing this for my family. My family's going to Cancun next month. Like, that's crazy. This is my job. And you literally have to treat it as a job and look at it as a job, because if you don't, you're honestly going to ruin yourself, because you're going to feel like you're taking time away from your family. But it's not, and it's so worth it.
Yeah, I think that's just so crazy and so cool how you said that. I've never been able to, like, I've been like, yeah, family priority. Yeah. Okay. That's just so cool that the way you put it, you're like, if you were a hairdresser, you'd be missing every Saturday. It's just so cool. So, okay.
Soccer games or basketball, whatever you're missing, but there's a lot more. I mean, our Coach Basics is Monday night and our team calls Wednesday night. And then I usually do guest speaking on Tuesday or Thursday. And I make sure I don't do both. So this week I'm not doing Thursday, so that I do have that one night at least with my husband and my kids. But it's 9 o'clock. My kids are in bed. So, well, not my daughter, but my son is. And I just feel like they get it, and they're excited, and they want to be healthy, and they're working out with me. And it is for your family if you look at it that way. That's
so awesome. So Alex is asking if you could list the personal development again.
Sure. I said Go Giver is number one by far and away my favorite book. You Are Badass by Jen Sincero. The weird one is How to Win Friends and Influence People. I don't even like admitting that I love that book, because the name is just so awful. But it's so, so good. I promise you it's that good. The Magic of Thinking Big. And in that new one, Tony Robbins, I'm reading Unleash the Power Within. That's really, really good. I've listened to that twice. Eat That Frog for Time Management. I didn't mention all these. Now I'm going off on a little tangent, but I am clearly obsessed. I'm going to look at my little, #GirlBoss is good. And Awaken the Giant Within is Tony Robbins. That's Awaken. Yeah, those are my favorite. Oh, and How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business. I'm a huge audio person. I'm very distracted if I read, so I'm constantly have my headphones in. But this doesn't come in audio, and it's worth it. It's very basic, but it's a great book to give to your new Emerald coaches, because they might not understand like I didn't, and I felt so dumb. I'm like, pyramid scheme, I don't even know what that means. But I learned that it means something. So that book was really good. Those, I think, are my favorite books.
Okay. And then do you have a preferred way to invite to challenge groups? Do you use scripts? Do you kind of follow the GoPro method?
This is really bad. I don't use scripts at all. I hardly even copy, and it's a waste of my time, honestly. I don't recommend it necessarily, but for me, I'm always nervous that I'm going to repeat something that I said. And my first Emerald coach did copy and paste something over, and she called the woman's name, the daughter before the woman she was talking to. So that, I think, scarred me for life. I never want to do that, because it's just so insincere, and I just try to be genuine. So I don't necessarily go for like a big invite. I like to just message them about something else, and then I'll make a post on Facebook, and a lot of times that will trigger their interest, or they'll start talking about being exhausted, or at this point, now that I've been doing this for a little over a year, people do technically ask me about it because of my posting on Facebook. So I try to put up a Facebook post about it like once a week, but I try to do other posts throughout the day. Like, you want to find something that's that makes you you. Like, why are you different than everyone else? Like, what value do you have? Like, people love free information. Like, if you're going to post about coconut oil or like running, there's something that would interest people, and you have to figure out your target market. Katie Hefner does the little person. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but she literally created like a fake person, and she gave her an age, she gave her like a job, her fears, very, very descriptive person. And when she goes to post something, she says, would this inspire my fake person? So that it really makes her think twice if it's a boring status, if it's annoying. It makes her put herself in that fake person's shoes, and then that kind of creates attention to yourself because you're posting things that are interesting to your target market. So I don't ever use scripts, and I don't normally, I'll say like, oh, you should join the challenge group, it's so fun, but that's as like scripty as I get.
Okay.
Sorry, that answer is terrible.
No, I think you have to go with what suits you. Like, I've gone from scripts to winging it to I do what you do, where I just have lots and lots of conversations, and then I make a post, and the post just
right.
And that's all I have to do. I've been playing around with the like page versus using the profile right now, and I haven't done too many posts on my profile page in terms of a call to action with an actual, hey, I'm doing this group. And I don't know if that's hurting me or harming me. It's been a good year. And so I think that's a good answer because, you once you get your groove and you're just like the momentum and you're going, then you just stick with what works, So I think that was better.
And I think it's like the bottom line for me is that I always just want to be genuine. Like, I really am interested in other people. And I think people are so interesting to begin with. And there's something about everybody that I could find a conversation topic to talk about. So when you're talking about them and when you just ask questions and they come up with something, then they're going to appreciate basically being heard, because there's so many people who aren't ever heard, especially in their job day after day. So they appreciate your conversation, and you genuinely start becoming friends with people. And even if it's months down the road, I've had people come back and be like, you know what, I'm ready. I actually just today had someone who I last spoke to in August because she worked at the summer camp my son went to. And just today, all right, I'm ready, sign me up. Now, I haven't spoke with her really since August, but I probably messaged her in October and she ignored it. Maybe in November I said hi, she ignored it. But that's another thing, you have to have thick skin, which I did not have before. So that's huge too. But I think my like bottom line is I always want to be genuine is what I never want to not be, I guess. I try to make Success Club 10 every month. I'm a Success Club 10 All-Star for the past 17 months. And that's my goal. But I'm not ever more than that. Like, I like to sign up 5 people a month, and then it's like I shut down because I'm very strategic about what I do in that sense. I like to maybe sign 2 people in the beginning of the month, 1 in the middle, 1 at the end, whatever, because more than that, I feel like I can't help people as much. I don't have the time to sit down and help them create a meal plan and answer all their questions, and I want to be there for them while at the same time remembering the people I have from last month, and you know what I mean? So that's personally the way I do it, but you have to find out what works for you and how much time you can dedicate to people, or else they're going to fall off because you're not helping them. As long as, you know what I mean, you can decide what's a good number for you and then just send some messages out and be genuine, I guess. Sorry, I'm like rambling now.
No, that's okay. Okay, so Katie is asking, what is your best tip on managing your time? Or what do you think helped you best balance working, building, and being a mom and a wife? So she works full time. She's got 3 kids. She's trying to build this business, all that good stuff.
So I definitely think a power hour is so important, just to have that 1 hour a day and to like shut off from your news feed and literally just message people. Have your conversations, but I'm also the one like sneaking in a conversation here and there as I go, trying to get back to people so that I can continue the conversations. I don't know how your work is, but I would do like lunch break. I would get some stuff done right when I wake up. Like if you have to wake up a half hour earlier, break up your power hour. And at night, I mean, my husband, you would think that he like took a hit, but he's psyched. He's watching sports now. And I realized I must have been so annoying to him before, like, hi, hang out with me. Because now he's like, do you have a call tonight? I'm like, yep. He's like, all right. And he turns on the Red Sox, or I shouldn't say the Red Sox. He turns on his sports and he's psyched. So it's good to like have your own thing, but you definitely have to set times that you can actually get stuff done, like planning out your challenge groups and doing that. But it's totally doable. How many hours I worked Beachbody while building? I would say for me personally, probably if you put it all together, like at least an hour and a half a day. But again, I like wanted to really do this. So I've heard of so many people who've done it in a half hour a day, and it all is in like how you manage your time and what you get done in that half hour. I don't count personal development in that because I'm constantly doing personal development. Like I said, getting my nails done, for sure I have the one earbud in and I'm still like not being rude because I can hear them, but I'm multitasking with my personal development all the time. Go fast. Nice.
My unit photos were taken at the, what's it called? The Green Monster? Is that what you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yep. Engagement photos were taken.
Yours were?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no way. That's so cool. That's awesome. I just did the Spartan this summer in Fenway, which was really, really cool. It's so fun.
I was going to say, Katie, one of the things that I think I do that I don't know that I always say is I maximize my time as best I can over here. And so what I mean by that is like, if you're at work or if you have like this may sound ridiculous, but if you have to go to the bathroom while you're at work, take your phone and take a peek at what's going on and just maximize all the little bit you can for that minute or two you're in there. I know that sounds like out there, but if you maximize those little like sections of time that maybe you need to go get some water at the water thing or whatever, you're heating your lunch up and you've got this minute, I find that one extra minute or two that you do actually pays off, which is kind of, it seems so like, I don't know how to say it, but I one of those things that I was like, I've never really shared that is, you know, my kids are eating lunch or something, right? Or dinner, and we don't eat as a family just yet because our time's off a little bit, and my guys are very little, and they sit at a little table, and they're hungry like super early, and so anyways, they're, you know, I'll cook, you know, I'll make them their food, and they'll sit there and they'll eat, and I'll take that minute while they're entertained by their food, and I'll be like, okay, let me check, and I'll just kind of see what's going on, and then I'll turn it back off, and those are just so simple, like 5-minute check-ins, but you'd be surprised you can reply back to 5 or 6 messages pretty quick and move your stuff along quicker in those, you know, sections. And I don't want you to feel like you constantly have to be attached to your phone, but if you really do want to go lead and if you really do want to maximize your time, I highly recommend thinking of those times when, like, in the bathroom, you're by yourself, it's quiet, you've got a minute or two, you know, answer a couple messages or whatever, read what's going on just so you can process what you want to do next with where you're at in business, and then you can move forward. Another thing I do is I put a lot of stuff in my notepad in my phone so I can just copy it over later. Like if a post starts to come to my head, because you can be inspired by, like, of course I have good weather over here, so I'm outside a lot, right? I was outside working today, and the kids were running around, and I was just kind of like, you can just be inspired by random stuff to make a post, right? But it's not a good time for a post, or I don't have the right photo yet. I just put it in my notepad, and then when I have that moment, of, oh, I really should put a post up right now. It's like, okay, let me find a photo, and then I copy it over. And it's a great way to maximize your time so you don't sit here and you're like, I didn't post it all today, and my brain, I don't have anything to say. So anyways, there's just a couple things I wanted to just add on to that, Katie, for you.
Yeah, my notes thing is so full too. That it's so valuable to have that. I have actually Facebook post ideas as one of my thing. And then that's also, I had my list of people, which I name people to help because I felt like list was so mean. So my people to help, and I have the people under there who I always have a list of like 20 people to keep that active and move people off it when they sign up. And then I move them down when they say no, because I know that doesn't mean that they won't sign up, but I don't want to forget about them either.
Exactly.
So I love the notes section.
It's like, my thing is on Mondays, I like to go back to all the people I've chatted with and hey, how are you? How was your weekend? That's like a great way to jumpstart your conversation again with them. And it's such an easy message to send out to so many people, and you can get a lot out. And it's like 10 minutes have passed, and it's like, all right, I sent a bunch of these messages out. Now we'll wait to see how their weekend was. And I don't even talk about Beachbody. I just talk about, hey, what happened? How was your weekend? What'd you do? And if I notice, like, hey, I noticed it was your kid's birthday. Was it fun? Or maybe Valentine's Day. Did you get to go out to dinner, or do you do a family thing? And it's just like, they're like, wow, they're curious about me. They want to know, and they want me to talk. So those are simple things that it's just, and it's strategy at the same time. Because it's like, today's Tuesday, I still could be asking how their weekend was. We're still early in the week. So anyways, just adding a little bit there. So I don't think, do we have any other questions, guys? If not, we'll let Erin go because it is late over there.
I'm such a night owl anyways, so it's no problem.
Good. It's always good. Okay, well, it looks like we are good to go. They're just thanking you. I appreciate you doing this.
No problem.
I am so I love your story, and I think this is so cool. I am so congratulations on hitting elite this year. That's exciting.
Thank you so much.
You're gonna have an awesome experience. I don't know what it's gonna be like in Nashville, but it was really cool back in Las Vegas. So you will be like, that was so worth it. That's exactly what you're gonna think. Even when you get to Cancun, you will be treated like royalty for the rest of the year. So, anyways, thank you so much, and
thank you.
Meet you in Mexico.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. Appreciate you coming on. I know you're all super busy, so I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Good night.
You too.
Bye.